The most common way lymphoma develops is that a gland or a lump grows, often not particularly tender, like it is if we've got a sore throat, not tender in most situations, and patients often notice it themselves, that they notice a little lump in the neck where lymph glands are normally, or sometimes in the groin, and they go and see their doctor. The doctor will examine them and make a decision about, the most common decision is, well, is this just because they've got a cold and this is a normal process, or is this gland larger than normal for somebody who's got a cold, or in a place that normally wouldn't happen, or there are lots of glands in multiple places. So that's the decision the general practitioner has to make in the most common way the disease presents, or the most common way people go to their doctor. And often there's a bit of toing and froing, unless there's a very big gland that's significantly enlarged and there's no debate that that couldn't possibly be due to an infectious sort of problem, or if it's a big gland, say under the arm, or in another place where it's unusual to get big glands as a response to an infection. But there's often a bit of toing and froing, and the GP might say, well, look, why don't you come back and see me in a couple of weeks? And we'll see, and if it's still there, then we might think of doing something else. That's one way people with lymphoma will first go and see their doctor. There are some other forms of lymphoma where people present in very different ways, because the glands might be inside rather than obvious elsewhere, and there might be a lymph gland in the chest, for instance. Now, I didn't say earlier on, but the lymph glands are in multiple parts of our body, so that defence mechanism is all out there. It's very much like those forts in multiple places. And they're often buried inside our body. Well, they're normally buried inside our body, so if one is grown and is pressing on something inside the chest, that might cause a cough, might make you short of breath. What the doctor will do is do a couple of things. They'll often get a blood test done, because sometimes